Hello, and welcome back to another Daily Top 10's Top 10 video. Today, we're going to be looking at the top 10 school trips that went horribly wrong. While every student loves the chance to get out of going to class whenever they can, these 10 school trips aren't the ideal way to do it. Number 10. Overexposed. A hiking expedition sounds like a pretty standard school excursion, doesn't it? Maybe, at least until the teacher leads their charges onto one of the area's most notorious nude beaches. The 4th grade students' parents were at a loss to explain how their minders managed to make such a monumental error.
Because I had never seen like a bunch of nude people just walking around holding hands. Strange people that I don't know.
The couple filed a complaint with the Boy Scouts, but were told
they said that that was not against their policy.
When quizzed about the hike, organizer Desmond Wheatley was reported in local press to have said, "This is a naturalist beach, and my family and I go through here all of the time. It's not a big deal." Many parents disagreed.
What are you doing? We're in the middle of a nudist beach. And it's like, this is a naturalist beach, and, my family and I go through this all the time. It's no big deal. And I got really angry.
Number 9. Criminal chaperone. When you imagine the perfect person to place in charge of a school trip, you think of a scout leader, a teacher, or a trusted local authority figure. In all likelihood, you don't think of a fugitive on the run from the authorities. A man who had been arrested 20 times in the past and who was described by police as a high-violence offender managed to be named an official chaperone on his daughter's elementary school field trip. When police turned up at the scene, he turned tail and ran, but thankfully he later gave himself up without harming himself or others. Number 8. The Wonderful World of Disney. It's one thing to take students on a terrible school trip. It's another thing entirely to promise to take them on an amazing one, and then not. For some incredible reason, the 8th grade teachers at a school in Ontario thought that tricking their students into thinking they were going to Disneyland was an awesome idea. And this wasn't a half-hearted prank either. They gave the kids brochures, printed up fake permission slips for the parents, and put together a presentation which outlined how the accommodation would work. And the greatest indignity of all? The moment the teachers revealed that they were really going to a local bowling alley. We mean, come on, guys. At least pretend you like your students. Number 7. Brainless. A group of New York forensic science students were sent along to a mortuary to learn a bit about the behind-the-scenes business of crime solving. So far, so sciencey. What the pupils didn't expect was a brain in a jar that belonged to a fellow student who had tragically died 2 months earlier. It turns out that while the deceased boy's parents had agreed to an autopsy, they had assumed that their son's brain would be buried along with his body. Not so. It turned out the morgue had decided to hold on to the specimen and pop it onto a shelf. Number 6. Getting physical on the physics trip. Getting the chance to travel to Geneva for a school trip would be enough for most 17-year-old kids. But 2 physics students decided that they wanted to up their enjoyment that little bit more. After having a few cheeky drinks, they headed out on the town and found themselves in the red light district. However, before they could enjoy themselves too much, they had their money stolen by a woman working in a late-night strip club. The boys were scooped up by police, but they weren't charged. Instead, their Geneva jaunt was cut short and they were sent home to answer to their presumably unimpressed parents. Number 5. Don't have a cow. Plenty of school trips are made out to farms, but not many result in so many traumatized kids. We guess that's because not many schools think it's a great idea to follow up a cow milking session with a jaunt to the abattoir. The children weren't just privy to the cow's slaughter, They also got to see the deboning process. So lucky! Needless to say, there was plenty of fainting, crying, and vomiting children. That was, of course, before the teachers took them to lunch, where they were served beef pies. Perfect timing, guys. Number 4, a hands-on trip. A Florida teacher wanted to create an immersive learning experience for her students, so she created a mock crime scene at a park, complete with paper skeletons and fake weapons. It seems like it worked. When students first found the hand of a corpse reaching for a fence, they figured it must be another clue. But this wasn't part of Miss Messinger's lesson. The hand was attached to the body of a homeless man who had died of natural causes. Number 3, lucky baby. Sometimes the drama of a school trip gone wrong is centered on a student, not the trip itself. One 12-year-old girl in the Netherlands started experiencing extreme stomach pain while on a school excursion. But what she didn't realize was that she was actually in the process of giving birth to a surprise baby. The girl was sped off to a nearby hospital where she thankfully welcomed a healthy young boy into the world. Number 2, for freedom. In 1999, Australian school Canterbury College was approached by the Survival Adventure Training School, who at least appeared to have some passing knowledge of the great outdoors. They said they would love to help provide Year 10 Canterbury students with an outdoor adventure experience. Heck, the school board thought, what the hell could go wrong? Turns out, quite a lot. The group was later revealed to be a cover for the Freedom Scouts, a right-wing extremist paramilitary organization who believed that Australia was slowly being invaded by Indonesia, and who may or may not have been keen to use the school camp as an excuse to recruit new young members. This explains students' reports that the camp leaders had a habit of training the expedition's Caucasian students in knife throwing. Oh, and they also took the 109 students and teachers camping and trekking through prohibited wilderness reserves. Oh, and they got the children to illegally destroy numerous plants and trees. Oh, again, there were unconfirmed reports that they had a stash of illegal weapons buried in the surrounding shrubland. Did we mention the kid who had to be choppered out following extreme fatigue? The whole sham of a school trip came to a close when the Australian Federal Police, who had been tracking the Freedom Scouts' path through the reserve, caught up with the group and arrested the camp leaders. Number 1, 7 Days a Slave. While our number 2 entry definitely has a claim for the top spot, we have to give it to the 7th grade students at Hartford Magnet Trinity College Academy, who were forced to take part in a slavery reenactment. The week-long exercise, organized by a group called Nature's Classroom, was described by its creators as a chance to experience education from another perspective. But it turned out that this perspective involved being packed into dark rooms to simulate the hull of a slave ship, chased through the woods by adults claiming to be white masters, and hurled with racial slurs, including, yep, the N-word.
People of color, really, you could not, Hartford, you could not see that something was wrong with this, that they used the N-word. How dare you do that, say that to my child, and call it an educational experience?
Imagine these phrases being yelled at your 12-year-old child and their friends. Bring those to the house over there.
The Bakers filed a complaint with the school board over a field trip last year.
When children are being threatened with hanging and were told they were property, things move beyond an immersive process drama experience and into genuine trauma. Thanks for watching another Daily Top 10's Top 10 video. And remember, it's our duty to entertain and yours to subscribe.
Hi guys, please subscribe to Daily Top 10s, please! I love this channel so much, and I really want to see more videos, and I really like it, and I want them to continue. So please, oh my god, I love you Daily Top 10s! I love you! subscribe!